Um, to me, like design and the whole process is a group effort, right? And I saw the value early at DC Shoes of having people together in a room with a lot of different backgrounds and disciplines coming together to make a product, an ad, a video, whatever it was, right? It was a group effort. It wasn't one person. So that's always been my mentality. And that's why when I quit DC, like we started an agency, I didn't call Dan Janssen, right?
You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
Welcome back to part 2 of our conversation with the one and only Dan Janssen, creative director of Lincoln Design Co. In my opinion, one of the coolest, hippest, highest energy, agencies, creative agencies out there in the market right now. If you haven't seen the first half of this episode, while I appreciate you're here, please put it on pause, go backwards, and check out part 1 because you're going to miss some really important stuff. But otherwise, welcome back. This episode, we've got a lot of great stuff to cover, and I hope you enjoy it. Dan's a fantastic guy, and it's easy to see, how he's able to create such an amazing team and land all these just world famous brands. So grab yourself a drink, sit back, and enjoy this part 2 with the Angry Designers conversation with the one and only Dan Janssen of Lincoln Design Co.
It's not about the money,
No.
And like I've said too, don't think because you own a studio, like the money's like freaking at the top. Like that ain't. That's
We're usually the ones who are broke.
I was just gonna say it's the first in, the last out, and the last to get paid. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
dude. I remember going for like weeks and weeks having to forego payments, or like I wasn't getting a paycheck. I think at one point for 6 months when we were at a low, and it was just hard. We were rebuilding and but people don't see that. Yeah. They don't see that.
No,
they see the end. They see the shiny, the outcome, but the struggles.
So I've said, like, to me, what I think is a good setup for a designer or creative is to work at a studio, at a brand, at a company, and then on the side, either do some freelance or start. If you want to be an entrepreneur, start a small company and do that at night and on the side. To me, that is a great mix. That's a mix that I can't do. Like some of these guys here, they work here and they have their stuff on the side, which is great, and I'm all for that, right? You get your, not every day that you're working here, we have some great clients, but not every single project you work on, like you're super hyped on. Like we did a style guide for Paw Patrol, little kids shit.
Oh, I know Paw Patrol.
Yeah, there are some people here that probably weren't that hyped to work on that thing for like 6 weeks. So
not many skull graphics going on in that kind of thing.
Have you seen the Paw Patrol mega movie? Okay, I mean obviously these guys are responsible for that. Mega powers.
Yeah, not every project is going to be amazing. So have that outlet at home on the weekends that you can do. That hopefully brings in a little bit of extra money. And then you have the best of both worlds. You have your job with your benefits and your concrete, money coming in, and then make some money on the side. Like that to me is the best setup, whether you're at an agency, a studio, a Nike, a brand, whatever it is. Like that to me would be what maybe I would do if I came back and did it again. Maybe that's how I'd do it, right? Like,
is it important to be working on your own brand, do you think?
And see, that's where I don't think it has to be your own brand though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think, honestly, I don't think it should be. Like,
it shouldn't be.
Wow, there's mind blowing.
Interesting.
Tell me.
And unless your plan is that your own brand is to become a studio or a product or something, then yes, then put a bunch of time, effort, into your own brand. If you're a freelancer, different deal, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like if you have a full-time job, you're working 8 hours a day at a studio, at a company, at a Nike, you're going home and then working on your personal brand.
Right.
Cool. But I've seen a lot of these guys do some great things with starting a brand that is not your personal brand, a brand, whether it's fonts or an apparel brand or foot bag company. It's not a design company. It's not a brand, like my design company that I'm doing on the side. It's actually a physical product or something else, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad too. If your goal is to, like, when I'm outside of work, I want to freelance and I want to get as much freelance work as I can. Cool. Then yes, work on your brand. But I've seen these guys be very successful with starting small companies that are not like, this is my brand, it's me and I'm doing design work outside. It's more of like, hey, I created a product, I'm doing this and that, and it's not like Joe's freelance gig.
Yeah. Okay, so interesting. So two trains of thought here, and I'm curious then that your angle on this, because we're very similar in the sense of I spent so long growing the Z Factor brand inside my niche. You're growing Lincoln, which is freaking phenomenal. But we both have the same friend, James Martin, who is growing his own personal brand. So what was your decision to grow Lincoln, not Dan Janssen?
Yeah, good question. I don't to me, it's all a group effort, right? If like James is great and he's doing it on his own, right?
Yep.
Like I never
and he
wanted
looked to you guys for inspiration, which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he's great. He's a great guy. Yeah, I've hung out with him a ton, and his family, everything about him, like I love. To me, like design and the whole process is a group effort, right? And I saw the value early at DC Shoes of having people together in a room with a lot of different backgrounds and disciplines coming together to make a product, an ad, a video, whatever it was, right? It was a group effort. It wasn't one person. So that's always been my mentality, and that's why when I quit DC, like we started an agency, I didn't call it Dan Janssen, right? It was my business partner and I, and our goal was to quickly hire people to have a group working on projects, not just me, not just him, right? So to me, I like that was never in my mind, like this is going to be a Dan Janssen thing. Like I always feel like you get, even here, like when we do projects, like 99% of the projects have at least 2 people on them, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, whatever it is. But very rarely is it like one person working on one client, one project. Like to me, it's like the group effort that generates the amazing work, right? Yeah. And to do that, like to have somebody sitting up here with their name attached to it, like I just didn't like that feeling, like, Yeah. I mean, it works, I mean, out here, I think they're still the largest independent advertising agency in the world because every ad agency has been bought up. There's like these huge conglomerates that own them all. But Wieden and Kennedy is like still the largest independent ad agency, and you have 2 guys' last names that are that, That's old school advertising, right?
It is.
I just, even here, like I'm not above these guys. Like this is a group effort, to create what we create. So
that's awesome.
That's never like Dan Janssen, like, when I was in college, like to graduate and to do portfolio review, absolutely. I got an old logo that's Dan Janssen for sure. Like that's how I, portfolio review.
I remember.
That's how I got the job at DC.
Yeah, totally. So you are crazy humble, just based on everything that you just talked about, and I get it, and I appreciate it more than you can imagine. Yeah. Some people consider humility as lack of confidence or imposter syndrome. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's the opposite. Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah. I think you're crazy if like that's what you think or Yeah. I mean, to me, like the best people you meet are the ones that like have crazy succeeded or whatever it is, and then you meet them or you hear like they're so humble and they're on your level and they're cool to talk to or whatever. Like I've heard, which I don't know if it's true or not, Keanu Reeves is, from what I hear, is like, as far as like an A-list actor, is like he talks to people, hangs out, like just super cool guy, right?
Crazy,
like,
down to earth.
You hear that once and you're like, I love that dude. Like, great guy. You know what I mean? Because everybody else in that industry is like, So,
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I think humility is actually more strength than anything else. I don't understand how people can think of it that way.
Do you think it has something to do with constantly having to learn in this space? Like we're always looking for the next, you know what I mean? Like, we always want to be better. Like you never get
constantly improving.
Yeah.
Never complacent.
Yes.
Yeah. No. And it's never like, even with the studio, it's like you were asking, like, and I said, I feel like we're just kind of, we're chugging along. We're not hauling ass. There isn't really like this, there isn't like, I guess you could say there's A-list designers or something like that, but there isn't really this like pinnacle. Like the industry changes, our software changes, trends change. Everything's changing so much and so quick. AI and all this shit is changing so often in our industry, and the way we do the work, produce the work, look at it from the inside, the outside. Like we're just trying to keep up, all of us. So I can't say that I know it all.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, when I go and, like, if we do a workshop or I speak or something, like, I am more than happy and try to make it a point to actually point out who did what. Like, I'm up there presenting, our work or something. Like, if I can say who in the studio did what, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I didn't do this. Like, I brought a client in, I got the project started, and I managed the client, but like that actual physical illustration or design or ad, like I personally did not sit at my computer and do that. So sometimes for me to like talk about it, I kind of feel weird. I'm like, hey, Damaso should come up here and talk about this. You know what I mean? So
mad talent there.
But there are other people that are like, no, like he wouldn't have done that without me, and that's like, this and that. So
no, dude. Again, I think it's a totally different type of designer, totally different type of person. And I can't relate to those kind of people.
Space for it all, like Christo and Made by James, like they're amazing, and they have a ton of knowledge, and it should be tied to them and who they are. I think it's fine. I mean, Chris had his studio blind for 15 years. That was not Chris Do design. Like he closed that and left that to do something different that was 100% him.
Exactly.
And it's great, and he's killing it. And I think he made a great decision. And but in the beginning, when he owned a studio, it wasn't Chris Do Associates. You know what I mean? Like that's not how he ran it. It was blind. So it's kind of what do you want to create? So a lot of freelancers are going to go with their name and do that. So
very cool.
What do you want to do?
So being surrounded by so much talent, and again, your team is fucking phenomenal. I love those guys. Do you ever get, and again, granted, you're leading them, I appreciate that. Do you ever get imposter syndrome, thinking like, shit, like, these guys are following me and they're freaking awesome. Like, do you ever do you know what I mean? Like, not that you're second guessing and think that you're shit. However,
no, definitely. I would say not so much, because I try and let them do what they're good at, and not not try and steer the ship too much where it's taken away from them. I think everybody has their strengths, and they should do exactly what they're strong at, and I can't illustrate like Brandon or Damaso, so I'm not going to act like I can, and when they can sit in on the meeting or whatever it is and deal with the client, then perfect, so
it's like everybody's got their strengths in the organization.
They do. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
We got some fantastic designers, but don't know if I would put them in front of customers so much, would I? And again, not because they're awesome, but everybody's got their strengths.
Yeah.
Me, I'm so sure.
Yeah, I got to keep you on a chain, buddy. So, okay, so let me ask you then. Stresses, in the industry, owning your business, dealing with, clients, dealing with, awesome designers. Let's talk about mental health. Like, how do you prevent, especially because you said something that was very, hit home to me, which was like, you're not even going away and giving yourself many weeks and months of vacation like some people I hear about. How do you avoid burnout? How do you keep yourself sane? Besides, I'm assuming working out is part of that because you're pretty jacked, dude. Just saying, I'm just saying,
We'll get to that. The workout routine. That's
We'll talk
that's the
about
last half of the interview.
Spoiler alert: the dude must work out. Okay, that's some of it. But what else?
No, I mean, to me, it's getting out of the office and doing things, right? The creative conferences, like I mentioned, in a week we're going. We have this huge house out in the woods in Bend. Take the whole team this time.
The original Into the Woods.
Yeah. Yep. We skipped our retreat last year. So it's been 2 years. So this year, typically we'd go out for 5 days. We'd bring our computers. We'd spend a day or two working on projects together. This time we're going to cut a day off and no computers, nothing. Just going out there. Yeah, we'll go out there. We'll spend the first day where I kind of do a year in review type of presentation. And then I'll do the second half of the day that is like basically what's coming in 2024 and what are we going to do and participate in or whatever. So for me, it's filling the gaps with that stuff and getting the team out of the office to do a retreat, to go to Crop, go to Creative South, like Designer Con, things like that have something to do with the industry and will spark creative, juices and things. But it's not, you're not sitting here in the office, for weeks and weeks at a time. So I just like to get out and do things, be part of conferences and different things. Hence kind of like doing Into the Woods. That was like,
awesome.
Let's see if we can do something like this. Let's put something on our plate that none of us have ever done, and see if we can figure out how we do it. So, yeah.
Well, you guys killed it there.
It was
I'm not gonna lie,
dude. That was
good to hear.
That was
good to hear.
Yeah, like it was your whole approach. Okay, so not to mention that, of course, aesthetically it was great. You did a perfect job setting everything up, and I wouldn't expect anything less. But the idea, the notion about taking people to somewhere more remote so they couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Dude, we just went to a conference, like literally 6 weeks ago. It was a big conference, and we were there with our customer, and the conference was going well. Yeah. But at nighttime, even though they had everything on the resort, because it was so accessible to downtown areas, to hip spots, everybody left. And they were pissed because all that was left was just company employees, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, your idea about, pulling everybody into it, I met more people at your event than I think I have at any event in the past 20 years.
All wonderful, wonderful people.
Amazing. I'm
So
following them all. Yeah. They're great. I can't wait to see them again. Like, I genuinely made amazing connections. And that was your event, unlike anybody else's. So good on you.
Yeah.
It was a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that we noticed going to a lot of these things was like, when the talks are over and the workshops are over, people go their separate ways, and you'll hear like, oh, everybody's going to the restaurant or this bar, or there is an after party, but once the after party's over, people go different directions. And you're always kind of like, I talked to I met these people, but I don't know what they did at that night. So that was our goal, was like, everybody has to be in the same place, stay there, hang out, party together. And so.
And what else is interesting about your event was, introverts would avoid, Adobe Conference, some of these other large events. Yours, it's perfect for, we met some introverts And at the beginning, they were quiet, they were withheld, they sat in the corner. We would go introduce ourselves, bring them in, and by the end, it's like we were hugging goodbyes at the airport. Like that's freaking awesome.
Everybody was so jacked about all the presentations. It was really, really good.
Like, good on you guys.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's great.
So, for the record, what is your workout routine?
We're going there.
Well, because I'm trying to get back into it, in all fairness, and
you're obviously too mellow to be on steroids. So
no. Or during COVID, we built like a small kind of gym out in half of the garage.
Home gym.
Recently,
good for you.
But like a month ago, I started going back to the gym down the street from my house. But if I can get there 4 days a week, it's like a huge win. Like,
dude, that's huge though. 4 days is a commitment.
I
Good
know.
for you.
Usually 3 is like realistic. Sometimes it's 2 and I'm like pissed. But and I'm trying to get up at 5:15, 5:30 and basically work out 6 to 7 and then be in the office by 7:30 or 8, you know?
Nice.
Like when I do that, I feel like great. Like I did that this morning, like great day. You know what I mean? Got it started right. It doesn't work out every morning. Sometimes I'm fucking tired or stayed late or whatever. But to me, like an ideal day is like getting up at 5:30, being at the gym at 6 to 7, and then being in the office by 7:30, 7:45. Like
cool, man. And now that everything's rolling, you're done around.
So everybody leaves at 5:30. I usually leave around 6:30.
Yeah. That's so true. Right?
Yeah.
Like still, even though you're first in, it's often you're not the first out. I feel guilty if I leave and there's still people here. I'm apologizing.
Do you do that when you leave? You say, "Look, guys, I have an appointment. I swear to God, I'm not shirking my duties. He does this."
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
It's like, dude, I understand how hard
I know,
you work.
right?
Go.
Yeah. Well, that's
what
part
do you
of
think that is.
Yeah, what is that?
Part
what
of
is
like
that?
what I've said, about like be careful if you think you want to own a studio. It's like there's just a lot of pressure, and I don't do it because I feel pressure. Like that's just kind of who I am. Like I honestly think about it. If I wasn't married and didn't have kids, like fuck, I don't know. I would just set up a fucking bed in here.
You'd live there.
I would live there. I would live here for sure. Like no,
and probably have a lot more money in your pocket too.
Yeah. Well, if I was single, I would legit live in the fucking office. Like
I know.
So
it's so true.
We eat Pop-Tarts all the time.
You got to have that mentality, and you have to want to live that life if you do want to own an agency. And I feel like I make it work.
Absolutely.
And you can't show up at 8 and leave at 5 every day as the owner and think that it's gonna, you're gonna get everything done. Like too much shit to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Get shit to do.
That's right. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's the best part though, because then you get to work with, you get to choose your own destiny, and you guys have really done a great job, attracting the right clients. I mean, you have a lot of the same customer. How much of that is coming to you versus you? And what I mean by that is, mean, you've got obviously Hot Wheels, Nike, WWE, but then, you got Mountain Dew, Red Bull, Liquid Death. Okay, Liquid Death was pretty damn cool. Dude, I saw some F1 shit earlier again, I'm so jealous. Like you're doing so how much of that is what you're building as a brand and pulling in versus hustling? Because I'm guessing you're the only hustler at that place, no?
Yeah. So up until about a year ago, 90% of it is just like coming in, right? Word of mouth.
Yep.
And it's coming in and, referrals and this and that. We made a point last year that we brought on Mark Bricky, who adventures in design, right? With the idea of like, let's see what it looks like if we make it a point to go out and target clients and projects and things we want to work, so I'll let you know, because we're in the process of kind of
you're in the process of doing that.
Yeah. And it's dude, it's not easy. Like I've had people in the past that don't understand the design and advertising agency. Like kind of model and stuff asks like how many salespeople you have. There's no salespeople. Like there's no such thing like in this industry, right? You have account executives and things that once the client is there, handle and manage and can upsell things. But to go out and cold call and go after clients for our services is very, very hard, right?
Absolutely, it is.
So we're in the process of just kind of, seeing what it looks like. We have, some clients that we've always wanted to work with, and Mark is kind of, he's not full time with us. He's just kind of, him and I are kind of working together on a few things. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, dude,
considering that you are barely 10 years old, like barely underneath that radar.
Yeah.
You're pretty doing, honestly, like my hat's off to you for that. Like, I mean, good on you.
Thank you.
Wow. Like seriously, like dream clients. So
there was, sorry to interrupt.
No.
There was, I saw an online video where it was like a bar, sharpshooters, I think it was.
Six shooter.
What is it?
Six shooters.
Yep. Yes. Whereas like you just kind of pick them up. Like, was this just like they knew who you guys were and
they're like literally down the street here.
Yeah.
Like it's the local dive bar. Like it's a super sick, like just especially in this area, it's kind of the only one. It's like this Western dive bar.
Nice.
We moved across here and they reached out for us to rebrand them, and now we just did some apparel and we're kind of buddies, and we've done some photo shoots in their bar, and
nice.
That's great.
And some of those clients are the best. One of our best. One of our best clients is High Street Deli, which is a deli.
Yes,
love that
awesome.
Shit.
Oh my god!
So they're in Northern California. The dude who owns it, Doobie's, just a fucking great guy. He has 2 locations now. We helped him like with the signage and open up the second location, and he's killing it, right? And his fucking sandwiches are amazing. Like every time we drive to California, we go. The product is there, right? Once you eat and once you show up, the whole vibe of the whole place, from the merch and every part of it to the actual product and the sandwich, like is top notch, right? So props to him, because that's half the battle, right? You got to get the customer that either eats it or wears the product or whatever it is and goes, I need that again because it was that much better than the other thing. But he's not a big time client, but that dude lets us have fun. He pays well. We're working on some commercial and some animation work for him now. And
that's kind of worked out good for him. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
You need that inspiration piece, the one that keeps you.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sure the merch that he's selling as well as the good food is, it's like.
And you're giving it back. In all fairness, I mean, again, you're dealing with world-class clients. Dealing with them, I mean, and not giving it back as in like, oh, you should be lucky to deal with me. But you're not just doing this for a dollar figure.
Yeah.
You're doing it because of the love of what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And let's have fun. Let's enjoy this shit. So
we have Mattel, but I'm going to do High Street Deli over here too. Yeah. Like we're that kind of the agency, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
Good on you.
Really nice.
Some of those smaller clients are the funnest ones, and like these guys get excited when there's a High Street project, and it's good.
Cool.
And just for as a side note, the logos that they didn't choose are amazing.
I know, right?
Like holy cow.
Right. Yeah.
So all right, I'm trying to be sensitive to your time because again, I know you have a hard stop. But listen, we finish off with a very traditional 25 speed questions. They're very difficult questions. We spring them on the people at the end. Okay? We can talk about it afterwards if we have time. But again, we got 25 questions. And we need you to answer them in 2 minutes or less. All right?
All 25.
All 25, dude. All 25. Sean's gonna pull up the 2 minute, and again, it's like, dude, this is high pressure shit. I hope you're up for this because this is nothing like what you've dealt with.
Yeah.
I hope
are you ready?
Yes, no questions. All right, fire them up.
Right. All right.
Okay, are you
ready? Mac or PC?
Mac.
Favorite music?
Punk.
Cool. Yeah, I saw that one coming. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite cartoon?
Ooh. Heathcliff.
Whoa, random. Aged himself there.
Yes, old school.
Favorite collectible?
Whiskey now.
Nice, attaboy. Favorite superhero?
Ooh. Silver Surfer.
Ooh, cool, niche. Who's Marty McFly?
That is Michael J. Fox.
Attaboy.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. What is Quirk Express?
Oh yeah, program that I worked with at DC, and they switched to InDesign. I was super pissed. I was like, fuck this InDesign thing. Like, there's no way like this can take over Quirk. It is a
Still
page
hate InDesign.
It is a
Still love
page
Quirk.
layout program that we built all of our catalogs and books in at DC. It worked
Coffee
well
or tea?
What's that?
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Puppies or kittens?
Puppies.
Pirates or ninjas?
Ooh. Ninjas.
Which is fake? A Yeti or a Chupacabra?
I got to go Chupacabra.
Fake. They're both real, just so you know, okay? Apple Pencil or a lead pencil?
Lead pencil.
Yes. Favorite artist ever?
Tristan Eaton.
Oh, interesting. Niche. Good for you. Serif or non-serif?
Ooh, not sir.
Okay, got it. Favorite font right now?
Mission Gothic.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I can feel that. Illustrator, Photoshop?
Illustrator.
Does anybody ever say Photoshop?
Nobody says Photoshop.
Best skateboard ever?
Ooh. Geez.
We'll even stick with the best skateboard brand if you want.
I'm going to say Hosoi because I had a ton of those. I have a thing with Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. I didn't see that one coming. Good for you. Magazine or tablet?
Magazine.
True or false? True or false? Newsprint is dead.
False.
What is your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. Swedish fish.
I think it's Swedish berries, I think, right?
That's
Yeah, the shape of
awesome.
fish.
Yes.
So
It's
random.
the little candy fish. Like yellow bag.
Yeah, yes. Awesome.
Okay, superpower of choice.
Ooh. Speed. I want to run around and get everything done tomorrow.
Shit, yeah. Who'd win in a fight? Tony Hawk or Vince McMahon?
Damn, it's Vince McMahon.
Best video game console ever?
Atari.
Oh, the boy.
2600, yes.
And one thing that always makes you angry? He's so chill, he never gets angry.
Yeah, I don't imagine you would get angry over anything.
Being late.
Stupid questions.
Being late.
Sorry?
Late.
What?
Being late.
Late? Being
Yes.
late. Okay. Well, on a good note, that's why we're trying to avoid this conversation.
I'm trying to keep it punctual.
For the record, though, 4 minutes, 13 seconds. Okay, so
You were closer than most of the people we interviewed, so that's good.
poor old James Martin, man, he got stuck for a long time. With some of these.
Forever.
I got to razz him on these.
Yeah.
And honestly, we could have a part 2, a part 3, a part 4. This is awesome to talk just because, not only, as a designer, it's amazing to talk, but as an agency owner and what you have built, it's fucking amazing. And again,
Thanks.
no regrets on this side for what we do, but your agency is the kind of agency, as a kid, I always thought I would build. Red Bull, however, never got into the B2B space. So again, not a customer. Honestly, you deserve all the success that you've got, dude. And
more.
Honestly, and you're so humble and cool. I wish you nothing but a world of success moving forward, dude. Like honestly, I can't wait to hook up again, like for the next conference,
And
maybe.
Let's hope that's going to happen.
Yeah. No, not pushing, but next conference again.
Yeah,
it's
really good.
Something's happening, but yes.
Okay, good. You don't have to tell us, but when we do find out, I'm going to hit you up for another one of these. Okay.
Yep.
Just saying.
Just saying. Yes.
I'd be down.
All right. Well,
awesome.
With that being said, I hope everybody, got so much from this episode, because this was a great conversation. Very different than a lot of other ones, because we had a lot of great agency talk. And honestly, this was so motivating. Like, even for me now, again, after doing this for so long, it's great to connect with people like you. So I hope everybody got everything that they hoped to out of this episode.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, totally.
And again, be sure to check out, Lincoln Design Company, best Instagram feed. We've got the Chop House. We've got an amazing conference, that maybe in the future we'll have something, part 2 too. I don't know, but, check out their website and everything else that Dan has awesome created with his amazing team behind.
It's a great team. It's total team effort. That's the best part.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, fellas.
My name is Massimo.
And my name is Sean.
And this is you are
Dan Janssen.
Yeah.
Dan Janssen, Lincoln Design. Yes.
There you go.
Stay great.
Let's stay angry.
Yes.
Peace out.
Thank you, fellas.
We get everybody out without. Don't feel bad.
What are they talking about?
Why are they doing that?
I think it's because nobody ever goes to the end of our videos.